Good day. I am Les Roy Williams, Director General of the St. Kitts and Nevis Information Service. Today I am happy to be joined by His Excellency Ambassador Gustavo Martinez Pandiani, who is the Ambassador of the Republic of Argentina to St. Kitts and Nevis and other parts of the OECS. Ambassador Pandiani.
How are you?
Welcome.
Mr. Williams,
Yes,
it's a pleasure to be with you.
It's a pleasure
as
to be
always.
here. Right.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, how long have you been ambassador?
Well, I could say officially around 25 hours. But in fact, I have been working with your beautiful country and with your government for a couple of months already, because before presenting my credentials, I was already active, especially in the area of cooperation. We have implemented during this year a couple of projects. I'm particularly proud of two of them, one in the area of agriculture. We had a delegation coming from Argentina to work with your fishing community in a very specific issue, which is fish waste. Or some of them, they consider it waste. We consider it a resource. So we were working here in St. Kitts and in Nevis with some experts coming from Buenos Aires, because we are transforming the traditional waste from the fishing activity into a very, very important resource of nutrients, proteins, and could be used both for fertilizers or even for animal feeding. So that is a project. It's already implemented. This morning we signed a cooperation agreement with the Minister of Sports, Minister Richards, and I see one great possibility there of benefiting our youth. We are trying to help you out with football, and we are expecting you help us out with cricket. The idea is to send a delegation, probably your under-23 national team, to Argentina for training and to have exposure to very, very important levels of football. We are planning to do the same with our cricketers, to be sent here to St. Kitts and Nevis. Especially in Nevis, I know you have a very good cricket tradition. So, these are two specific areas we are working together, but, a new project is already online. We are trying to get our experts on apiculture. You used to be, especially in Nevis as well, a very important producer of honey. You even have a beekeeping cooperative there. So, Argentina is probably the second largest exporter of honey worldwide. So, we want to transfer that technology to you, and our expert will be in the island in November, next November.
Sometimes, of course, the Caribbean is it's multi-religious,
Yes.
it's multilingual, it's multi-ethnic, and so on, all because of the history
Correct.
of the Caribbean region. We've had the French here, we've had the Spanish here,
All of them.
we've had the English here, the Portuguese,
The
Dutch, and so on in the Caribbean. And part of the problem with communicating
Language.
is that of language.
Oh, yes.
Of
Indeed.
course, Argentina is a Latin American country that speaks Spanish.
Correct.
We speak English,
Yes.
or some form of it. Anyway, and sometimes the language is a barrier.
Sometimes it's a bridge, because once we overcome that obstacle, you are closer in terms of our culture. So it's great that you bring up this topic, because we are working together with other countries in the Caribbean of developing this Spanish as a second language. And I have to be honest with you, it's not only for cultural purposes, it's also for business purposes, for investment promotion. It's important for the Caribbean islands to get a second language and even a third language, because every day the world is a little more global. So we are working with you. In next month we are going to host an activity for training Spanish as a second language, and of course St. Kitts and Nevis is going to be part of it, together with St. Lucia, Dominica, and Barbados.
Right.
So it's very important. I could say probably one of the most important projects we have is to bring a little more Spanish to San Cristobal y Nieves, I
Yes.
have to say. Because Nives come from nieves,
The snow.
which in Spanish is snow.
Yeah, because if you look at the Nevis Peak,
That is
it
correct.
always seems like a snow-capped mountain. That there's
Exactly.
always snow on it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
And
well,
St. Kitts come from Cristobal, St. Christopher. So, the links are there.
hmm
Our cultures are supposedly different, but they are not that different, anyways. We have some links. And I think that, in these times where some important leaders of the world are proposing to build walls against peoples, I think we have to build more bridges and less walls. So let's work together with the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Let's bring some bridges. And one of the bridges we want to build is the bridge of language. So we need to know a little more English, as I prove myself,
hmm
and you need to know a little more Spanish.
Not just the language, but also the culture,
That's true.
because language is a part of culture,
Absolutely.
isn't it? So learning a language, you're actually also learning the culture
Absolutely.
of that
And
place, slangs, how do
of
you say
course,
things,
of
how
course.
do you express yourself, and so on, which is very important.
Absolutely. And one of the ways we have to do it is through art, because art is an expression of the culture. And language is a way to get closer, but then you have the opportunity to show what you do, what your traditions are, how you feel art. So, I think we should work together in that field too, try to bring a little more Argentinian art. For example, our dance, tango, which is very famous around the world. I'm based in Barbados. I had been there for a little more than a year, and I created, I kind of opened together with a group of people the Barbados Argentina Tango Club. We have already 128 members. So, it's a way to share our cultures by sharing our friendship as well.
Yes,
So I'm sure we can bring some tango to the island, and maybe we can bring some calypso to Argentina as well.
of course. And so, therefore, we have this cultural exchange
Sure.
among us, which is so important. Now, you mentioned, Ambassador, that some of the areas of cooperation between St. Kitts and Nevis and Argentina are sports. And you
Yes.
particularly mentioned football. Of course, Argentina is known for its football. It has produced great footballers. We used to have Latin America winning the World Cup,
Oh yeah,
FIFA World Cup, and so on. But sometime it's gone to Europe and
I
so on.
know, I
We
know.
speak about Maradona and so on, famous Argentinian
And now Messi.
footballer, and then Lionel Messi, and and so on. But in sports, you spoke about agriculture,
Yes.
and in particular, you spoke about in the fisheries
Fisheries,
department
and now coming up, honey production as well.
and honey production. Is there any other area? What about the area of education or offering scholarships for people to
Well, in
study in
fact,
Argentina?
you are right on target, Les Roy, because I had a meeting with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, with Minister Brantley, and I had the pleasure to announce him that Argentina is giving a scholarship to one St. Kitts and Nevis diplomat to go to study to Argentina.
hmm
They already selected that person, and she's going to be traveling to Argentina in October. So, we start open opportunities for
Right.
St. Kitts and Nevis people, especially the youth. And I think that, through education, we can achieve even a closer relationship. And as I said, maybe the last time we meet here in your beautiful country, I feel myself an ambassador from my country to your country, but at the same time, I feel myself as an ambassador to from my people to your people.
hmm
It's not only government relations; it's cultural, social, community oriented, and that's the way I understand my own job as an ambassador.
It's
I
a
work
connection.
It's a connection, within the culture, within the people. So I will be working together with the universities. We have a very strong university system in Argentina to open opportunities for people from St. Kitts and Nevis. Of course, the challenge is you need to learn a little more your Spanish. You have to work a little more about your Spanish. I was very surprised that a lot of people from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs speak very well Spanish, very well, really very well. The PS herself is great, and many other people in the ministry. So we have to keep working, knowing each other a little better, geographically, we are a little far away, but politically, culturally, socially, we need to get closer.
No, you are in the Federation for more than just the signing that you had this morning, the bilateral signing, sports between
Yes.
Argentina and St. Kitts. But you're here for the 36th anniversary of our country's
Yes.
celebration of independence. What message would you have for St. Kitts and Nevis on its 36th anniversary of independence?
That's a wonderful question and a very challenging one. I'm not consider myself able to give you recommendation, but I can share with you my feelings about independence. I think your people is a very proud people. I think you have to use that proud to transform St. Kitts and Nevis in a progressive country and nation even more. And you have only 36 years of independence. You have been doing so much. You have achieved so much in such a short period of time. Argentina has been independent for more than 200 years, and we are still learning. So maybe my advice to you, I don't know if you call it advice, but is keep working hard. Nobody's going to give you anything by free. That's the way the world works. Everything you get for you, for your people, for your families, for your community, is the result of effort. If you are trying to get anything out of the effort, it's not going to work. It's going to last just a couple of minutes. So, in order to get real progress, St. Kitts and Nevis has to do exactly what it's doing for the last 36 years, working hard, sharing your experiences, and trying to benefit everyone in this beautiful paradise you call St. Kitts and Nevis.
Well, is there anything else you would like to say, Ambassador?
Just thank you.
Pandiani?
Just to thank your government, but especially your people. I have been here twice, and I'm always so happy to receive so many, friendly ways. This is a great country, and when they ask me about St. Kitts and Nevis in Argentina, I say, well, yes, of course it's a beautiful island. Of course they have beautiful beaches. Of course there's beautiful sea and sand. But the most beautiful thing that St. Kitts and Nevis has is its people. The friendship, the open heart, and the open mind of people here in the island.
Well, Ambassador Pandiani, I want to thank you so much for your friendship with
Please.
St. Kitts and Nevis. And of course, we look forward to the relationship
Absolutely.
deepening between the Republic of Argentina
Yes.
and St. Kitts and Nevis.
It's going to be a pleasure to come back here soon
Right.
and to do more of this beautiful friendship we are doing together.
Thank you.
Thank you.